Okay, I've hit the stream button. I think I'm streaming, but as per usual, let's go ahead and check the audio. All right, I can hear myself. That's good. All right, I can hear myself. That's good. All right, let me not repeat. Hello, welcome in Chan the Magic Man, and welcome in GipsonLens. How are you guys doing today? Oh, Chan, you're lightning fast today. How's it going? Thanks for pinning that. I need to open it myself. So, Barney of the Rubble, welcome in. Enter Sandman. Sorry, I don't. I should come up with a trick called Enter Sandman, and then perhaps we could do that. But not today. Today is not the day. Um, let's see. Oh, hold on. I'm not showing my trick list. I gotta do that. Hold on. I gotta turn all these things on for here. Okay, cool. Excellent. Um, how is everybody doing? How are you doing today? I am mostly doing pretty fabulous. Uh, let's see. I need to put my cheating gloves on. I have not yet done cheating gloves yet. Boss trick. Barney of the Rubble. There's currently two boss tricks. I haven't done them for the last couple of streams, so you can look for one. Let me just double check and make sure I know which ones they are. Okay, yeah, there's two of them that I've carried over for a few streams. Dude who does magic, welcome in. I am the king of your stream. How's it going? I do sleight of hand card magic, so I am that dude. But you anyway, welcome in everybody. Hi, how's it going? I've not even put on cheating gloves yet, so here we go. Oh, Barney of the Rubble has chosen Magician's Choice, hoping that I will choose a boss trick. I guess I could do that. I do need to practice them. So, um, how's everybody doing today? So, I was quote unquote not around on Twitch much this past week, mostly because I was just in one channel. I was watching Awesome Games Done Quick on Games Done Quick. So, for anybody who is aware of that, is a week-long speedrun gaming marathon to raise money. And usually the Awesome Games Done Quick winter one is for Prevent Cancer Foundation. So the marathon wrapped up last night, and the target raised by the marathon was over $2.55 million for Prevent Cancer Foundation. So that was pretty awesome. But throughout, I was watching a ton of runs. Um, I didn't watch a ton. I didn't watch as many as I wanted to. There's still a bunch to go back to, but everything is now up on YouTube. So catching up with those will be super fun. But let me know if anybody watched any. I enjoyed a bunch. I do see we have a couple of requests already, so let me pull out the Twitch deck. Ta-da! All right. All right, and let's see. That was Chan requested it. Okay, awesome. So let's see. Oh yeah, let me hop back up here. But anyway, how has everybody's week been? How are you? Hopefully everybody, I guess, is recovered from the holidays or longing for the holidays. I had some nice days off, and then I went back to a couple days at work, and then this past week was a full week of work. So I was like, yeah. Let's see here. I'm just prepping for this trick requested by Chan the Magic Man. Chan, thank you so much for the request. Hey, is that E-Room? E-Room! Welcome in. How's it going, E-Room? E-Room, you got to bang in early. It's like for E-Room, it's like clocking in. How's it going, E-Room? All right. Okay. So, well, it looks like queue is filling up immediately. So I should probably start doing tricks, I guess. Let me see here. Warming up with one of these. I was actually thinking about this trick because I'm like, I hadn't done it in a while, I feel like. So, whatever title is interesting, I picked it. Awesome, I am the king of your stream. That is the best way to choose a trick if you don't know what the tricks are. So, perfect. Perfectly fine. All right. Okay, so let's get warmed up with too many cards. All right, here we go. All right, so here we have a bunch of cards. We have the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 of diamonds. So here's what I want to do. I want you to keep an eye on the ace. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ace here into the middle of the packet. It's not on the top, it's not on the bottom. But when I push it in, if I go ahead and I snap, that will bring the ace back up to the top. And now if I go ahead and I do it again, I'm going to place the ace into the middle of the packet. If I snap, that will bring it back up. You're probably thinking, Nam, that's not fair because you're holding 5 cards and I only have 2 eyes. Well, based on that, I can tell you that, here, let me go ahead and remove the ace. So now there should only be 4 cards for you to follow. All right, we're going to do that again. So here we have our 2. Once again, I'll place the 2 into the packet. It's not on the top. It's not on the bottom. But look, if I push it in and I snap, that's going to make the 2 hop back up to the top. I know, it's super weird, right? Super weird. That should not happen. Here, we'll do it again. Place it into the middle of the packet. Push it in. If I snap, that's going to bring the 2 back up to the top. And to that, I would say you should have been able to keep track of it that time, right? Because, but if you couldn't, I know, your excuse will be, there were 4 cards and I only have 2 eyes. Durkee Blaine, welcome in. Hello, Nam. Just pulled into work, popping in for a quick hello. We'll try and catch some more in a bit, hopefully. All right. Thanks for checking in, Durkee Blaine. Have a good day at work. All right. How about this? I'll go ahead and take out the 2. So now there are 3 cards. Let's do something different with the 3. So, all right, here's what I want to do. So I have the 3 here. If I go ahead and I place it in between the 4 and the 5, if I just give it a shake instead of snapping, that 3 will turn itself face down. I know, that's super hard to believe. But look, if I go ahead and I turn the 4 and the 5 face down and I place the 3 back in the middle, if I give that a shake, that's actually going to turn the 3 back face up. I know. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? But that's okay. Look, you're probably trying to keep track of the 3, but you would only say you only have 2 eyes, but I have 3 cards. All right, fine. We're going to remove the 3. You have no excuses now, okay? You have no excuses now. And so look, I have a 4 here, and I have a 5. So look, if I go ahead and I grab the 4, and I place it underneath the 5, like this, if I snap, that will bring the 4 back up to the top. I know, that's really hard to believe because there's only 2 cards left. Here's the 4, and then here's the 5. All right, so here's what I'll do. Once again, actually, let me grab the 4. Actually, wait. Okay, here's what we'll do. And there's really no excuse now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 and I'll remove it. And so now you just have to keep track of the 5. Okay, look. I know, it's really unimpressive because it's the only card in the packet. But actually, if you guys didn't know, when somebody requests a trick, I like to use the card that they signed if they've signed one. In this case, it's Chan the Magic Man. Chan the Magic Man, I know, has signed the Queen of Clubs. So actually, hold on. I don't know if you can tell, but the 5 of diamonds has now changed into the queen of clubs. I know if I end the trick there, it's not going to be that impressive unless I show you this, right? But I wasn't kidding, really. No, look, I did change it into the Chan the Magic Man signed queen of clubs. And that, my friends, is too many cards. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Mark Rides, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for requesting the Devil's Elevator. Man, it also feels like I haven't done that one in a while either. So, um, let's see here. And thank you for all the emotes. Chain the Magic Man E-Room, and thanks for the claps. Chain the Magic Man E-Room. Anyway, I have some tea today, so if anybody's been sitting around for a while and you have not hydrated, please hydrate. Let's see. Next up, Magician's Choice, and we have actually. Okay, actually, let me do this with. So normally I do this with kings. I'm gonna do it with queens because if I have a chance to, I have another brand new trick. It's okay. I haven't seen any magic tricks since turning 47. Congratulations, Mark Rides, on making it to 47. Is 47 a prime number? 47 is a prime number, right? So, happy prime birthday on a square of a year. If you guys didn't know, 2025 is a square. So, yeah. There you go. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyway, Mark Rides, congratulations. Let me, when I get to your trick, we can, I'll try and do a birthday theme for you. So, all right, let's see. So, next up we have Barney of the Rubble. Okay, so one of the 2 boss tricks is, I know Kung Fu, mostly because I did not know Kung Fu when I tried to perform it. So, let's go ahead and try and perform it. All right. So, first things first, Barney of the Rubble, if you were there, if you would like to select a card, feel free. Not one of the queens because I've set them aside to be helpers. So, but otherwise, if anybody would like to make a selection and Barney of the Rubble does not respond, feel free. We'll need a selection. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I am the king of your stream says 8 of diamonds. 8 diamonds. Okay. All right. If Barney of the Rubble does not say anything else, we'll use the 8 of diamonds. Perfectly fine with me. I notice that the 8 of diamonds is also not signed, so if anybody would like to sign cards, we still have about half of the deck left. Alstro Art, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you kindly for the giant emote. All right, so here's our selection, the 8 of diamonds. Now, here's what I want to do. First I want to swap these. All right, 8 of diamonds is our selection. We have red queen, black queen, and the 8. I'm going to leave the 8 aside just for a second. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and place, let me see, where is, I'm supposed to turn this face down. All right. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2 black queens, and we're going to go ahead and place them off to the side over here. I'll take the 8, place it in here with the red queens. 1, 2, 3. If I just go ahead and I snatch it, I actually have the 8 in my hand. Look, see? And now there's only 2 cards over there. Because look, I don't know if you saw, but I've placed the 8 in between the 2 black queens. And over here we have the 2 red queens. I know if that happened pretty quick. Let's go ahead and slow it down. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Power Thirst, but that reminds me of, you're going to kick Mother Nature in the face You say, slow down. Kick her, no, sorry, kick her in the face with your energy legs. Man, I haven't seen Power Thrust in forever. I used to watch it like religiously. So uh, it was back in my college, post-college days. But anyway, all right. So last time I turned all of the queens face down. Let's leave some of the queens face up this time. So queens face up, and here's our 8. This time what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and deliberately place the 8 in between our 2 black queens like this. And we have our red queens. But look, I'm going to smash it together. And I don't know if you can tell, but those 2 red queens have been smushed together. Get your mind out of the gutter if that's what you were thinking. But anyway, there's only 1 card here now. I don't know if you can tell, because look, this is now the 8 of diamonds. But you're probably wondering, wait, where are the red queens? Because over here in between the 2 black queens, there's only 1 card. Well, if you go ahead and I hold the 2 edges like this, 1, 2, 3, it actually becomes 2 cards, and here are the 2 red queens. And that, my friends, I will say is a successful performance of I Know Kung Fu. Actually, and that was a boss trick. So that was a boss, and I get to beat the boss. So I get to keep a running counter of how much homework I've done, quote unquote. 86, guys. I've redeemed myself at least 86 times. I know there's been a few times where I like did boss tricks and either I didn't count it or like I didn't officially count it, but I was like, I should do that homework. So, wow, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. That means I've improved at least 86 times. So it's an empirical measurement of how many times I've messed up on stream and then redeemed myself. So that's pretty cool. That's ever since I started streaming, though. That's not bad over 2 years. That's like 40 a year. Starting the new one. So, um, let's see here. I do want to get statistics for that one. So hold on. Let me just quickly. I know Kung Fu. I just throw that into the list and mark it as good to go. All right, cool. So anyway, all right, let me quickly just say hi to everybody that is, hello, welcome to Elstra Art. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Next up, we have a trick requested from I Am the King of Your Stream, which is Mad Monty. So I always mix up this trick with another trick, so I'm just making sure I don't mix it up. Okay, I remember which one. All right, let's see here. Hold on, I'm just gonna quickly run through the deck for a second because I don't remember something. But anyway, if anybody's into video games, AGDQ 2025 has just completed, which is a gaming marathon that's lasted all week to raise money for charity. So I watched a bunch of it throughout the week, which is why I mentioned. Okay, all right. All right, let's see. Chan the Magic Man says, "Wow, I'm the king of your stream." Asks Chan a personal question. All right. So, here we go. We've got a couple of cards here, and I just want to show you that here we have King of Spades on top of the King of Clubs. Now pay attention, if I go ahead and I rotate this 3 times, no, sorry, 2 times, I'm getting ahead of myself. 1, 2. Which one is on the top? Would you say that the spades is still on the top and the clubs is still on the bottom? I think a lot of people would say yes, that is correct. Spades on the top, clubs on the bottom. All right, so now here's the pop quiz. If I rotate it 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Now, would you guess that the spade is on the top or the bottom? And where's the club? I am the king of your stream says it will be red, and so I am the king of your stream. I don't know if you've seen this trick before, but that is probably the most surprising outcome. In which case, um, most certainly it will be red. Yes, you're right, because this is a magic stream, and so instead of the kings, it's not even the kings. There's a five of hearts and a five of diamonds, and yeah, and that, my friends, is Mad Monty, and why you don't play any games with the word Monty in the title on the street. And so there you go. No, says I am the king of your stream. Yeah, so yeah, it's a con. It's a con. They will take your money and not give it back. So that's amazing. Says I am the king of your stream. I said the impossible thing. I mean, but that was the correct thing. Mark Ryan says, as long as you don't confuse Mad Monty with Full Monty, it's okay. I mean, maybe to you, yes. To Twitch TOS, maybe not. Are casinos that bad? I mean, look, casinos are just trying to have honest games because they'll win on math. But if people are cheating at a casino, that's either the individual people or sometimes I've heard of like dealers working in cahoots with gamblers to basically take advantage of casinos and stuff like that. So I mean, that kind of thing exists. So um, I said don't confuse. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Because of of 2S. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I will try not to confuse them. If I ever seem like I'm about to do a full Monty on stream, you guys catch me. Please stop me. Shield your eyes. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Next up, um, we have Devil's Elevator, and it will be for Mark Rides, and we need to come up with a birthday theme for this. So let's see what we can come up with. Let's see here. All right. Oh, I should probably use. Hold on. I'm switching the use of sixes and nines. That probably sounds funny out of context, but you guys will understand later. Okay. Let's see. Let's choose 2 and 4. Okay. There we go. Happy birthday, Mark Rides. Yes, happy birthday. All right. I don't know why I'm super parched today. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, what we have here are black sixes and nines. Normally, because this trick is called the Devil's Elevator, and not because of the meme, I mean partially because of the meme, but at certain angles, these will look like 666, and so that was the intention. And then over here, what we have is the 2, 3, 4. Normally, this would be the 5, but because Mark Rides requested, Mark Rides has signed the King of Hearts, and so that is going to be our final card. So let's first of all leave Mark Rides over here, and then we're going to leave the 4 over here, then the 3 over here, And we'll place the 2 on the top of, so instead of this being the devil's elevator, this time it's figurative. The devil in this case is going to be the mafia. And so this is the mafia tower, which is, some people would call that hell as well. So here's the thing. The 2 is going to get captured in mafia tower. And so here's the 2. But look, we're going to go ahead and place 2 levels away from the top, which is where the helicopter would then save the 2. So, right? So first, second, third, fourth, fifth from the top. But look, all we have to do is have the 2 find the elevator. They do have to get through security first. They get into the elevator, they close it, they press the up elevator button, and then hopefully that will get the 2 from which floor they are on to the top. And then they can leave. That's the plan. And so look. Ding! Look, Mark Rides is actually flying the helicopter. So look, Mark Rides has picked up the 2 from the top of Mafia Tower. And so, there we go. Next up, we've got the 3. The 3. We're going to go ahead and place the 3 levels from the top. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. But the 3 is going to do a massive escape, get into the elevator. Elevator door is going to close right behind him. He's going to press the elevator button and get back up to the top floor to escape, hopefully, to get picked up. Thanks for the ding, Chan the Magic Man, by Mark Rides, elite helicopter pilot. E-room. E-room. Mark Rides picked you up. Now, some people think, hey, why are all of these people getting out of Mafia Tower? They're very suspicious. It's like, how good is your security? How good are all the people inside of your tower? And so they're going to go ahead and look at all the people in the tower. And look, all the people in the tower, they're the same people that worked in the tower the entire time. Maybe it's a time for layoffs at Mafia Tower. But look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and grab the 4, right? And I'm going to go ahead and show you that the 4 is going to go ahead and get placed in the 4th level of Mafia Tower from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that person, they're going to have to break through a jail cell and like rip open like a circuit panel and like trigger like elevator doors to try and get up to the top level. And hopefully our very own reliable Mark Rides helicopter pilot will be able to pick up the 4 from the top level. I know, all that action. It's taking a very long time for the... Whoa! Look at that. Chan the Magic Man has dinged. And look, here up at the top of Mafia Tower is Bao. Bao then gets picked up by Mark Rides. Now, some people think that there's a mole among them, but no, there's the same employees that have been working there the entire time. But who did they then capture at the very end? Mark Rides himself, helicopter pilot. So we're gonna go ahead and place Mark Rides 5 levels from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know how Mark Rides is going to get out because, well, they've captured the helicopter pilot. However, Mark Rides heroically going to get through. Hey! Mark Rides first going to shoot every single bandit that then gets in his way. Mark Rides fights through bosses with gun kata. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Equilibrium, but gun kata is basically where you're doing like crazy martial arts with 2 guns in your hands, leveraging mathematical probabilities to try and shoot as many bad guys as possible. Also, doing a somersault and then grabbing new bullets from the floor that you set up 5 minutes ago. And then, finally, getting into the elevator. Mark Rides is breathing heavily, dripping with blood, none of it his, in the elevator as he slowly rides up. There is a hitch very near the top. How is Mark Rides gonna get out? Room's a super meat boy. All right, give me a sound effect. Anybody, give me a sound effect. How does Mark Rides get out of Mafia Tower? Chan the Magic Man says Mark Rides, after all of that, gets up to the very top level via the elevator legitimately and actually finds a helicopter up there. It's actually waiting on the helipad. Hops in, flies away, leaving all Mafia Tower's henchmen to run after them. And that, my friends, is the story of Mafia Tower, the escape of Mark Rides. Happy birthday, Mark Rides. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Superhero for the day. You saved E-Room and Bao, and technically Two of Hearts was Happy Nightmares, so... yeah, thanks. And escaped all the henchmen. I was actually wondering if you were going to get out of the elevator, which actually reminds me of like a John Wick scene, or if you were just going to transport out, which is certainly possible because that's happened. But actually, thanks for the gun. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna have extreme. And by the way, if anybody has ever seen the movie Equilibrium, let me know. I love that movie. That movie is hilarious as far as like the gun kata stuff, but like um I liked it. It's kind of like a sci-fi. I mean, Brave New World is like sci-fi already, but it's like Brave New World on top of an action movie. So yeah. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Okay, next up we have Oil and Water is requested by I am the king of your stream. Also, I'm going to put in a magician's choice because I have a new trick that I want to do. Haven't done it yet, so on stream. I was actually literally doing it just before stream in order to get it ready for YouTube. So, okay, all right. Adam, welcome in. How's it going, Adam? I am the king of your stream. Let's go! All right. So here we've got 4 red face cards and 4 black spot cards. We'll just use the 6s and 9s from the last trick. And at a quick glance, you would never mix up any of these for any of these, right? So that's why we're using those. Now, for anybody who has seen a bunch of magic tricks before, people who perform oil in the water, they like to talk about the density of the color of the ink and how, maybe the black ink is denser than the red ink, and it's like, I mean, first of all, you guys know that's all mumbo jumbo. Obviously, every card is printed, and there's no weird density with the ink that will make. So I always like to phrase this or theme this up as a simulation. Mark Wright says, "I will have to look up Equilibrium later." Yeah, stars Christian Bale, and you just gotta watch it for the action scenes. And if you like Brave New World, the book, it's similar. Otherwise, I mean, it's a big action movie, so I liked it. I liked it a lot. All right. Anyway, so I like to treat this as a simulation. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave the red face cards face down over there. And what we want to do here is Twitch peeps are smarter than that. Dense, says Adam. You're probably right. Although, I don't know, the average Twitch viewer, if they're not watching video games or music, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so first things first, Here, I'm gonna go ahead and intermix them, right? So here we have black and red. Okay, let's do it again. Black and red. Black, red, black, and red. Feel my sleeve slipping. So without any weird things, I'm just actually going to pull up my sleeve because I don't want them to slip further down. Okay, cool. So now we'll give them a second, and that's all the time that was needed. Mark Wright says the Aldous Huxley book. Yes, the Aldous Huxley book is Brave New World. Correct. Yep. If I look down at the bottom, that is a black spot card. If I look at the top, that is a red face card. But what you may not know is that was all the time that was needed for all of the red face cards to come back up to the top. And all of the black spot cards have sunken down to the bottom. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Probably not fair because I started with a black card and they were what was going to be sunken down to the bottom. So instead, let me go ahead and instead of starting with a black card that sinks down to the bottom, let me instead start with a red face card. So here we go. Red, black, red, black. We'll speed this up. Red, black, red, black. And I'll just give it a second to separate. I don't know if you know, but just by waiting that long and me moving 4 of the cards over, they have separated. I know it doesn't make too much sense logically if you think about it from they're just cards, but just it's a simulation, right? So we're just simulating. So before black sunk down to the bottom and red came up to the top. So the physics of the simulation should remain the same, right? So red should have come back up to the top. Right. But I started with a red card. So if you don't believe the simulation simulated, this should still be red. But if you believe in the simulation, this is black. And now at the top, we'll have red. At the bottom, we'll have black. The top will have red. The bottom will have black. The top will have red. And at the bottom, we will have black. And that, my friends, is oil and water. Thank you kindly for the applause. I am the king of your stream. And thank you for the emote. Is that a confused face? I'm the king of your stream. It's just a simulation. That's all. That's all it is. Simulation. Thank you kindly for the applause and the claps. I'm the king of your stream. E-Room. Chan the Magic Man. All right. Okay, so I think I want to try a new trick right now, which is why I put the Magician's Choice in there. Thank you kindly for the claps, Adam. So this is going to be similar to what they call an ace assembly. So we're trying to collect 4 of a kind all together at the end. But we're going to be using it. We're going to be using 4 queens because the name of this trick is Flight to Witch Mountain, and so that's why we're going to be using the 4 queens. Full disclosure: I've never seen the movie Escape to Witch Mountain, but right before I did the trick, I watched the trailer, so I guess I've kind of seen what the trailer is supposed to be about, but it's like a 1970. It's like an old movie. It's like a movie that GipsonLens might watch as an old movie. Not that I'm saying that this is a classic because I've never seen it, but anyway. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and Actually, what we need to do is we need to turn all of the queens face down, and we're going to lay them out like this. Actually, I do need a volunteer to give me a number between 1 and 4. So, GipsonLens says, "Ooh, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. I remember it being on TV." Yeah, so this trick is called Flight to Witch Mountain, and it's made by like one of the people that so 3. Oh, Eroom and Adam both say 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, perfect. Okay, so this will be our leader queen, i.e., the queen that's already at Witch Mountain. And just to confirm, let's just double check, and that is the Queen of Spades. So the Queen of Spades will be the one that will be going to Witch Mountain. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and use 3 cards and place it on each one. Now, these other cards are going to represent other people at that location, because if you saw the trailer for Escape to Witch Mountain, all the witches are basically being hunted by like regular people, i.e., the witches are like kids, and the kids are being chased after like by the authorities because they use their power against a bully at school or something. That's what I got from the trailer. I have no idea if this is actually the plot of the story, but just run with me here. But if we take a look at each area right now, we'll know where the witch is, right? Because we can clearly see the witch is here, and so we want to hide amongst each of the people in that area. And so we're just going to go ahead and hide each kid into each area among all of the other people. And here it doesn't really matter because they're all trying to get here. This place is safe. And so here we have, we know that the Queen of Spades is here. Okay, so yeah. Eroom says, "Great minds, lol." Mark Wright says, "The original one or the remake with the WWE star?" Oh, the trailer I watched was for the original one. I knew that there was a new one, but they're like differently named, right? Because like the first one's like Escape to Witch Mountain, and then I think the new one's called like Race to Witch Mountain, right? Something like that. Okay, cool. So the witch that is currently here in this area needs to try and fly to Witch Mountain. And so, I don't know if you can tell, but the flight has already occurred. It's like a transporter. It basically happens almost instantly, right? Because they're using real magic. So, look, if I show you, we don't have any witches here. Now, if I show you down here, um, we do have. Well, we knew that the Queen of Spades is here, but look, we have another witch right there. So there's our second witch. Okay, next up, we have another witch from this area. Mark Wright says there was Escape and Return, which are both old ones, I think. Oh, okay. Then I don't know which was the one with the WWE star. The new one. Okay, but look, that witch has run from this, well, has flown from this area to Witch Mountain. And so now if I show you, we've got no queens. And if I show you down here, we do know that the Queen of Spades was there. And here's another queen. The Queen of Clubs has made it. So, yep. And now, finally, this last area, which I guess if at the end of the movie, all of the witches make it to Witch Mountain, they win, right? I don't know what they win. That's I'm making a plot here basically as I go. But look, that witch has flown from here to here. Let's see. GipsonLens says the old ones are from the 70s. Okay, all right. So I was correct in that they were from the 70s. I had a feeling that they were from the 70s. Mark Wright says Return from Witch Mountain was 78, according to Google. All right. But now take a look. If we take a look, we'll see that. Oh, that's fun. There's a Joker there. But there's actually no queens over here. And the final queen has gone down here. See, Mark Wright says, but Return from Witch Mountain was 1978. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just read that. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, oh, that's a new message. No, it's not the exact same message. Has that ever happened to you in chat? Okay, so, But here, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 queens, and that, my friends, is my handling and performance of a brand new trick called Flight to Witch Mountain by Alex Elmsley, one of my favorite magicians that has created tricks. I have one of his books. All right. Whew. I'm glad I got the new one out of the way. Usually I warm up with the new one when there's like nobody here, and then like later it's like, man, there's more people watching now than I think at the beginning. So I'm glad I didn't mess that one up. I think that one felt good. That one felt good. So thank you kindly for the claps. E-room. Um, Mark Rides, if you want to see a Rubik's, I have all of my cubes today. So I have 3x3, I have a 2x2, and I have the Pyraminx. So if you don't know what that is, I'll let you pick whichever one for your birthday. Now, just caveat, if I have to do the 2x2 or the Pyraminx, I will have to reference a sheet for the instructions, but otherwise, I can do it. So, the Pyraminx. All right, excellent. Okay, let me see here. Let me clear this. Let me get the. Let me see. Solve a cube. All right, so it won't be by beginner's method. It will be by whatever method I can solve it by. All right, Pyraminx. Okay, we'll do that. Nice, Pyraminx. Yeah, I'm not very good at solving it, so it'll probably take a couple minutes. But I have to use the sheet for 2x2, but the standard pyramid I have memorized. Oh, okay. I can basically get most of the pyramid done, and then it's like just swapping like the last two. Which, to be fair, the algorithm's not that long. I should be able to memorize it soon. I just haven't dedicated the time or brain power to do it. I actually think that the Pyraminx is probably easier than the 2x2. But that's just based on what I've I've looked at on these small sheets. Okay, next up we have a trick as requested by Chan the Magic Man. Chan, thank you so much for the request. Called Michael Elevator. Guys, the trick queue has been full today. We are trucking through it. So thank you guys so much. What was that sound? That was my computer doing something. Did that sound come through stream? I'm just curious. All right, let me find some cards here. Let me see. Okay, definitely. And then, okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay. All right. Malhaku, yes, welcome in, Malhaku. How's it going? You were just in time for more sleight of hand magic. And thanks for hopping in. How are you doing, Malhaku? Hopefully, you had a wonderful holiday. And also, I don't know if you watched any AGDQ 2025. I watched a bunch of it. A lot of it was pretty awesome. So, Malhaku says, doing well. Excellent. All right, guys. So this is a trick called Michael Elevator. All right. So first things first, we've just got some red 10s and 9, and then we have the 4 queens. The 4 queens are basically what we're going to be using to separate. Now, I just want to place. Let me go ahead and place down all 4 queens here, and what we will do is. Let's go ahead and use the red 10s and 9s, or 10 and 9, I think, as they are a bunch of locusts, and all of these locusts are going to descend onto each of the queens. Let's pretend this is like an apartment building. So they're holding up in modern day society, and uh, one of the plagues has arrived, and so they're trying to defend themselves against the plague. So here, this plague is going to descend upon the first queen, but that queen is very resourceful and knows how to get out of the situation with a ton of a ton of locusts. Because here, look, and that queen is going to be able to get on top of the apartment building. I know it's super weird, but look, and look, it's Chan the Magic Man. So that queen has escaped. All right, next up, the locusts will move over. They don't find any queen there, so they're going to go to the next apartment building and descend, hopefully trying to find a great meal to devour. But look, that queen will also go to the top of the apartment building and be able to get out, because look. And so there we go. Now, the locusts somehow seem to have an intelligence, and instead of descending on this one, instead they try and decide to surround the queen. See, they're going to try and surround this queen, surround this apartment building. But look, this queen, no different than the others. She can totally get out of trouble and finds a way to get on top of the apartment building, well out of the reach of the locusts. I know. Super interesting, right? And now finally, we've got the last queen. Now this queen happens to be a helicopter pilot. And as that helicopter pilot, this queen is going to fly over all of the other queens. And I don't know if you could tell, but has picked up every other queen, leaving all of the locusts behind in the dust. And that, my friends, is Mike Elevator. Thank you so much for that request, Chan the Magic Man. Seeker of Weird, welcome in. How's it going, Seeker? How do you do? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday. GipsonLens says, I didn't watch, but people sent some clips like Crazy Taxi performance. Yo, okay, so I didn't watch Crazy Taxi live, but I watched the Crazy Taxi. So for anybody who has ever played Crazy Taxi in the arcade, the soundtrack is like really hopping. Well, what they did in AGDQ this year was they had a live band play music during Crazy Taxi. Not only that, the band would stop and restart basically in between levels, or if the runner died and restarted the level, they would restart the song. And so we would get like situations like there were a couple of levels that were really short, so the band would start playing a song for like 10 seconds and then stop because the level was over. I was like, that's hilarious, but it was awesome. Um, yeah, Secret of Weird says, been sick all year. Oh, my sympathies. My apologies. Get well soon, Seeker of Weird. GibsonLens says, an extremely repetitive. Yo, I agree with you. It's extremely repetitive because I think Crazy Taxi's only got like maybe 3 or 4 songs in the whole soundtrack or something. Like, yeah, the soundtrack that is. It's a very short soundtrack. Yeah, yeah. There's only like, well, as far as that I could hear from the speed run, there was only like 3 or 4 songs, like at most. So if you're going through like 20 levels or whatever, it's it's pretty repetitive, and you only heard the beginning of a lot of them. Um, yeah. All right, let's see here. Next up, we have the snap change transpose requested by Charlie's Beats. Thank you so much for the request, Charlie. If anybody wants to hydrate and they haven't hydrated in a bit, now's a good time. Okay, all right, let's see here. let's go ahead and hope that I do this correctly. This would be wonderful if I nailed this. Thanks for catching that, Hydrate Chan. Mark Wright says 5 of hearts, right? Wait, what's going on with the 5 of hearts? Because I think that's Charlie. Oh no, no, Charlie is the ace of spades in this deck. I think maybe perhaps in a previous. Anyway, so all right, guys. Here I've got 2 cards. I've got Mark Rides and Charlie's Beats. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and leave Charlie's Beats down here, and I'm going to hold Mark Rides up here. That sounds really weird. Don't clip that. So now all we have to do is 1, 2, 3. Actually, if I just go ahead and I show you how Mark Rides likes to transport. You guys didn't see anything. We're starting over. Starting over from the top. From the top. From the top. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. Once again, Mark Rides here. Charlie's Beats here. I'm going to go ahead and leave Charlie's Beats here on the table. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you Mark Rides is up here. You saw nothing, says Chan. That's absolutely right. Full disclosure, I've messed up this trick probably the most. Only because this move is super knacky, right? Like it's anyway. So look, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you could tell, but it has changed to Charlie's Beats. And now you're probably wondering, wait, if Charlie's Beats is down here, but what's this? Well, this is actually Mark Rides. And they're both signed, and so there we go. Whew, all right. I'll say I redeemed myself, even though I think I really messed up that last one. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I've considered removing that from the list, but I haven't yet. So, okay. Next up, we have solving a Rubik's cube. Now, I do have more than one Rubik's cube, so we left it up to Mark Rides, and Mark Rides selected the Pyraminx. So, for anybody who has never seen a Pyraminx, which, by the way, I know that a lot of people here are part of Chan's community, Chan solves way more cubes and other shaped things better than I do, and Chan actually solves like all the things without help. I'm going to need my handy dandy cheat sheet today. Here it is, the cheat sheet. So. Really only for one thing, so hopefully I'll get to the end. And all right, so here's what it looks like. There's only 4 colors, obviously, because it's a 4-sided pyramid. So I'm just going to start scrambling this. But now's a good time if anybody wants to chat about anything. Yeah. I can also talk through my strategy of doing this as we go, too, because it probably helps me like internalize it a little bit better, too. So. Let's see. Mark Wright says, full disclosure, I'm on a delay on my TV screen, so when you say son nothing, I get to see the error no to watch for it, lol, because the phone is ahead of the TV. Yo, that's awesome. Yeah, I sometimes have found that depending on mobile or PC, they're offset, so it's like, aha, I'm kind of like looking in the future. I kind of don't love that, but then it's like, well, I kind of sometimes use it, so I do kind of love that. But no worries, Mark Wright. That's perfectly fine. Any way you want to enjoy the stream, I'm happy with. So, and to be fair, like I think so. Here's the thing, right? Other magicians kind of have this thing. I don't know, like also because they're gigging magicians, or if they have like obligations to like a magic organization or something. Like I basically leave my VODs up full of mistakes and whatever. Like, so if anybody wants to see them, like, they can just go through it. I mean, I'm not gonna like timestamp it or like clip it for them, but if they go through the whole thing, like, they can watch it. It's fine. It's as though they were here, right? So not a big deal. And the thing is, it's like sometimes you do have to reveal a little bit of uh the method behind the madness of magic because then otherwise like people don't really understand how much time, work, and effort gets put into, learning the magic, doing the tricks, performing the tricks. Maluku says, I've done multiplayer games with people streaming, and it's always kind of wild to see the cadence of being in the game and then seeing things happen again on the stream. Yeah, you know what I'm really impressed with? There are people who like basically are doing some performance like playing like a fast piece of music and they're reading chat at the same time. And I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? Or like people who are playing like high reflex games and they are basically playing the game and reading chat at the same time. And I'm like, how are you doing this? Anyway, I'm so impressed with those people. Mark Wright says, fun thing I saw the error and then saw the redeem and then still don't see how you pulled off the part where the king was on the table at the end. Maybe they memorized the music. Yeah, Seeker of Weird. That is definitely one way that they can, if they memorize the music. But I've seen people sight read sheet music and read chat at the same time. So it's like, that's wild, right? That's so I was still amazed at Mark Rhymes. All right. All right. So I think I've sufficiently randomized this. All right. So let's solve. Okay, so first things first, obviously the corners don't change in relationship to each other. So I'm trying to find like where, so like right here I see two yellow, so I'm going to try and find which face is the yellow face. Here's the other one. So certainly this is the yellow face. And then this would be the green face, this would be the blue face, and this would be the red face. Okay, so those are all good. Next, I can kind of solve for these ones on each of the, whoops, on each of the sides. So green will most certainly be here. Green, green, green. Okay, so that's good. So red, 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 blue, blue, blue. Okay, so that's good. Red, red, red. All right. Yeah, green, 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 and yellow, 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 yellow. Okay, cool. So now it's these ones. So I can kind of try and logic some of these. So this one is the green, yellow one. And so here's the green face and yellow face. So this piece needs to go here. So what I could do is, let me see here. First, if I turn this, oh no, no, hold on. Okay, I need to do something like this. Hold on. I think just trying to explain it is too difficult for me because I'm not very good with this yet. I'm still just trying to figure it out most of the time. So let me maybe not explain. Okay, okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Okay, so that I got my yellow green piece in. Okay, cool. And then let's see here. So now I need, let's see here. So here's a red blue piece, and that should go. Oh, that needs to be turned here. Okay, I'm gonna save that one. I don't know how to do that one. Okay, blue. Okay, so here's a blue green one. So here's the green face over here. Okay, so I need this to go here. So that would be like one of these. Okay, cool. So that's gone there. All right. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. No, no, I need this. Okay. Hold on, I've messed this up. Yellow, yellow. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, so now this is the weird one. So I can now use this one to be like the weird pivot point for like this one and this one. Okay, so this is the one that actually needs to go here. So, okay. So I'm gonna put that one back. Okay, so now that one has gone there. Okay, let's see here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and these are the ZD Major 7. Welcome in. How's it going? Welcome in, Raiders. Guys, if we can get a shout out for ZD Major 7. ZD, how was the stream? How are you? It's going pretty well. Excellent. Welcome in. I see a bunch of familiar faces. Frolic Chris, Pinecone, Charlie's Beats. Welcome in, everybody. Presumably playing music tonight. Oh my god, thank you for the resub. Holy crap. Guys, we're not following our friend ZD Major 7. ZD Major 7, pianist, musician, part of a video game orchestra. Streams sometimes solo, sometimes with the orchestra. So um, yeah, definitely. Yep, the usual. Lots of piano. Excellent. So right now I'm in the middle of a redeem. I'm trying to solve a new Rubik's cube that I got. It's a Pyraminx. I do have the instructions over here just in case I need it. And so yeah, I think basically I'm at the point where I just have to rotate like 3 pieces. I will refer to my instructions now. So, but anyway, ZD Major 7. If you can't stay long tonight, but hey, you're not doing card trick. Not currently. No. Chan the Magic Man. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this on hold, and we're gonna have to do as much magic as fast as possible. For anybody who doesn't know, when I get a hype train, we have to do magic as fast as possible. Hype! Okay, cool. Excellent. So, let's go ahead and do some magic. Alright, first things first. We can have any card selected. Let's pretend it is this card. Doesn't matter what it is. So, it is the 5 of spades. So, the 5 of spades. Let's go ahead and place this into the middle of the deck. Now, importantly, we're just gonna go ahead and push that in. Get it lost. I'm not holding any brakes or anything, but here's the thing. If I snap, we're going to make that jump back up from the middle to... Malhaku, thank you so much for the for the subscription. Greatly appreciate it. Hold on, I'm not doing anything with my other hand. Look, it is jumped back up to the top. The 5 of spades. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? Now here's the thing. If you missed that because there were too many emotes on the screen, look, I'm going to go ahead and grab it, take it, place it in the middle of the deck. We're going to go ahead and push that in. If I snap, that's going to make the 5 of spades jump back up to the top. I know, that's super weird. And look, we could even do it one more time, but look, I'm going to place it into the middle. Importantly, before I snap, let me just show you, let's verify it is not currently on the top. That's some other card. That's a joker. But jokers can be anything, right? And if I want this joker to be the 5 of spades, that's going to hop back up to the top. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? Some people believe that magicians will do sneaky things like switch out cards and things. And to that I would say, yeah, the answer is correct. But I'm going to leave this sticking out. This could be signed, by the way. It is currently not, but I can show you that that is the 5 of spades. I'm going to place it into the middle of this packet. I'm going to grab this whole packet and place it into the middle of this packet. And importantly, I'm not hiding it on the top. I'm not hiding it on the bottom. But look, if I go ahead and I snap, that's going to bring the 5 of... ZD Major 7, thank you so much for 100 bits. You didn't have to. Greatly appreciate it. The 5 of spades has jumped back up to the top. I know, is that strange? That's very strange. Can't stay for the hype train, but I'm going to crash soon. I have to get up early. Oh, okay. ZD Major 7, have a good night. Sleep well. Take care. Hydrate, stretch, get good sleep. Thank you very much for the raid, ZD Major 7. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's go ahead and do some things with the 5s. Okay, let's go ahead and grab some 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, alright. So, alright, here's what I want to do with the 5s. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn all of the 5s face up, but only 1 5 at a time. But if I did it like this, that would be cheating because that's how non-magicians would do it. So I'm more magical than that, so I would need to do it more magically. So if I hold the packet and give it a magical twist, that is going to make one of the 5s turn face up. The 5 of hearts. I know, that's super weird, but look. Now look, if I hold the packet and give it another magical twist, the 5 of hearts turns face down, the 5 of clubs turns face up. I know, this is the weird part, right? Like, is that weird? That's super weird, right? There's only 4 cards here. And legitimately, there are only 4 cards here. But look, if I now hold the packet, give another magical twist, the 5 of diamonds will turn itself face up. I know, super weird. Okay, we got one more left, and I believe it is the 5 of spades, right? But the thing is, the 5 of spades is tired from the previous trick, because, so look here, all the cards are face down, but even if I give it one magical twist, the 5 of spades doesn't want to turn over. It's not until I give it a double snap that the 5 of spades will turn face up. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Okay, let's grab another card. So you would not mix the 5s with the king, right? And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place the king off to the side over here, and we've got all the 5s over here, right? And so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and do a bunny hop. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you could tell, but look. All those 5s have turned into 1 card, and the 1 king that was over here has turned into 4. And so if I show you, here's our king of diamonds, and here are our 4 5s. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? If you mix the 5 with the king, do you get 5 kings? No, no, no. You can only have 4 kings because these card tricks at maximum can be great 4 king tricks. And props if you caught the dad joke that was in there. Alright, so here's what we're going to do with these. Look, I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 red 5s, turn them face down. I'm going to take the 2 black 5s, place them 2 in between them. Now, if I reverse count them, they will still remain in the same state. The black 5s will be face up in between the 2 face down red ones, right? Because look. But all I have to do is, if I go ahead and I hold the packet and give it a magical shake, that magical shake changes everything. So now, in between, in the middle, what we will have is the 2 red 5s face up. If you don't believe me, watch. Look, they've swapped places. See, look. Is that strange? That's super strange, right? Let's see. Hype train's still going. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one more here. So what we have here is, if I reverse count these, what we've got here is the 5 of spades, the 5 of clubs, and then the 2 red 5s. No magic has happened because look, that is exactly as you thought. However, what if I was to go ahead and do the same trick again, but we're going to go ahead and use magic. So here's the 5 of spades, 5 of clubs, 2 red 5s, but now look, they have swapped places because now the 2 black 5s are down here. Here, the 5 of spades and the 5 of clubs, and these 2 are the 2 red 5s. And that, my friends, is the conclusion of a hype train. Thank you so much for that hype train, everybody. Let me go back and thank everybody properly. Let me hop up here and let's see. So once again, thank you ZD Major 7 for the raid. And if you have not met me before, hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian, spelled this weird way on Twitch. And I like to do sleight of hand card magic. So that's mostly what I do. Anyway, you just saw a hype train. So there you go. ZD Major 7, thank you so much for the resub. And then Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Greatly appreciate it, Chan. Thank you so much for that support there. And Malhuku, thank you for the new sub. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then ZD Major 7, rating, subbing, and giving bits too. Thank you for the 100 bits. And Chan, thank you so much for the 100 bits as well. So thank you everybody for that hype train. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Also, if anybody enjoyed that music, that was Expanse, which is our modern friend GipsonLens' original. So please check it out. Let's see. Request trick or use SR to have a trick magic. Oh yes, if anybody. So I run my stream like a music stream, and so all of the tricks that I'll perform on stream are basically in my StreamerSonglist, but I only have tricks in it basically. So they're almost all of them are magic. So I was doing the one that was not magic, which is solving a Rubik's cube. I mean, it's magic to some people, right? Like. But yeah, everything else is sleight of hand magic, and then solving the Rubik's cube is like math logic magic. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody. That was super fun. I don't think I've done like a hype train that solidly. I almost feel like I didn't like stutter like at all during that hype train. Let's see. I did see some people hop in as well. So the Rusty Panda, welcome in, the Rusty Panda. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday and that you were feeling better. Let's see here. And then if anybody caught the dad joke from earlier, so all right. So I'm just catching up. Expanse's hype train music, says Frolic Chris. Yes, that was Expanse. That was actually my mix of 2 versions of Expanse. So I basically congealed 2 versions of Expanse together, and that was my mix. That's it. All right, cool. But yeah, if you guys want more Expanse, please give GipsonLens a follow because that is his original. Mark Wright says, looks like you can jump to algorithm 3 when the hype train ends. You are about 8 moves away. Ah, yes, okay. Thank you for that, Mark Wright. Thank you kindly for the claps. The Rusty Panda, Frolic Chris, Pine Cone, Malhaku has gotten a batter up emote. Excellent. Let's see. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room. And then Frolic Chris has redeemed gigantic cards. Oh man, that is going to be painful. All right, let's see what you request, Frolic Chris, and then we will see. I may have to either choose a different trick or something. And Coin Matrix is magic instead of card magic. Yes, Coin Matrix is not really a card trick. I'll use cards in it, but it is still sleight of hand, so I enjoy that. The crazy mix, says GipsonLens. Yes, that's right. Oh yes, and thanks for giving Bert the shout out Mark rides. I forgot VIPs can shout out in here. I forgot whether I set that or not. It's been, as far as I know, I don't even know if maybe Charlie has tried to shout out before. And then, other than that, no other VIP has ever tried to do anything. Rusty Panda says, super sick, very tired, but want to stop in and show support. Awesome. Thank you, the Rusty Panda. Greatly appreciate it. But yes, I'm sorry you're still super sick. Still get well soon. Um, so. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, we were in the middle of this. All right, the queue is kind of big, so let's go ahead and figure out what I want to do here. All right, cool. So I'm gonna try and swap these two things. So I'm just gonna use these instructions because this is like the algorithm I have not really memorized. So it's boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's one. All right, and then I've done something. I've swapped something completely wrong here. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go again, I guess. Boom, 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 boom. Oh God, don't drop it here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that has put this one kind of in its right place. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Man, I'm striking out here. So these are not. And I'm back, Turkey Blaine. Welcome back. How's it going? I'm struggling with a thing. So, okay, let me just try and logic out. Because I know I can do that algorithm to do the last two, but these are not the last two. So I need this to basically be on this side. So that's not quite right. And I need this one to be on. Oh, so I need these two to swap. And then I need this one to go over here. Oh, but that also needs to swap. Okay, so let me do this. And now this one's out of place. All right, guys. So let's see here. Okay, so I need it to go like this, basically. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so now I just have these two left. Everything else is solved, and now I know I can use this algorithm, which I was trying to fruitlessly do before, but now I think I'm in the right state. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, boom. Solved. Okay. There we go, guys. Sorry I struggled through that for a little bit, but we made it. We got there. Turkey Blaine says, "I've never liked the pyramid. I always forgot how to do it." I mean, look, I'm literally using the sheet to help me, so we did it! Yay! All right. Okay, so between the hype train and now that solving the Rubik's Cube, I am a little bit warm, so now I can take off the sweater. It's been cold here. There's snow on the ground, so, you know. Inverted card trick. All right, let's go ahead and perform the inverted card trick. All right, so let me see here. I just have to remember in my mind what the setup is. Hold on, let me just double check something really quick. I am doing this off camera, right? Okay, perfect. I would not want this to be. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yep. I think this is correct. All right. Okay. All right. I got it. I got it. Okay. Excellent. So inverted card trick. Here we go. Rusty Panda says, we got 11 inches plus an additional 4. Oh, the Rusty Panda. My sympathies. So I don't have that much snow, considering. So Buffalo, New York is about like an hour away from where I live. And they have been pummeled this season. Like they got, I don't know, feet in like a matter of like 36 hours or something. I mean, not like recently. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. But I live in Greater Rochester, which we are basically on the lake too, but we seem to have avoided all the crazy snowstorms recently. So, but yeah, wow, that's right. Yeah, Rusty Panda says that's 15 inches. Hashtag math. That's right. All right. So, first things first, we need a card selected. So, Mark Rides, if you were there, if you would like to select a card, I'm not sure if you're on. I know that Mark Rides said he was on a delay, so if anybody wants to, oh yeah, but 2x2 is super hard because it has 7 algorithms you need to depend on where you have. Yes, I know. Yep, I would agree that the 2x2 is harder than the pyramids. It is, but we had 2 different days. Oh, okay. I mean, I mean, also the Rusty Panda, you live kind of in the northeastish, right? So, um, it's not too bad if you live in an area where it's like you're equipped for stuff. Mobile 47 cards from right in honor of 47th. Okay, all right, cool. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. All right, so this is the card. So that is the selection. I do not want to see it, so I'm going to close my eyes, turn my head, cough. I will turn this face up. And then you guys could take a look at it and make sure that you know what it is. And hopefully you've got enough time. I'll probably just double check with chat to make sure that you've got it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it face down. Okay, I'm now going to open my eyes. Take a look. All right. Okay, hopefully somebody got it. Somebody got this? Let's double check before we proceed with the trick. Got it. All right, E-Room's got it. Excellent. Cool. 47th card. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and place it into the middle of the deck, like so. Pyramid, once I solve base layer, I do upper right, then go upright, then do upright. I have solved or need algorithm 3. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I need algorithm 3 to solve the last two. So it was actually better once I stopped trying to do it, not in the state. Anyway. All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if you saw, but I literally just turned the entire deck over around that card. I know that's really hard to believe, but look. If I just show you, there's one card facing in the opposite direction. All right, quick question. What was the card? It's okay to tell me now. The card's out here. In the interim, I'm going to hydrate, but yeah, let me know. 6 of spades, E-Room says. All right, E-Room. Hopefully you're not trolling me. 6 of spades. I forgot. I hope it was a king of hearts. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so you guys may know how that part of the trick is done because that's basically one of the tricks that I learned from elementary school, and I would do that sometimes, on the playground. However, that part was not meant to fool anybody. So, but this part is. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the 6 of spades, and I'm gonna place it. And this may tell you how the first half of the trick is done. I'm gonna insert the face down 6 of spades into the face down deck. Okay. Mark Wright says, but I didn't sign the 6. I mean, I know you didn't, but okay. So some people think that I'm hiding the 6 here on the top, but no, that's not the case. That's not the 6, right? Actually, what you here, I'm even going to quickly run through the cards, and you may even see, like, I'm just going to turn some over. Actually, I'm going to turn the whole deck. You may even see the 6 like face up in here if I go really fast, right? But actually, here's what I want to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the 6 of spades facing the opposite direction. And now look. And now there's one card facing the opposite direction, and that is indeed our 6 of spades. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? All right. Okay, let's see. We did the cube. We did the inverted card trick. Okay, cool. And Frolic Chris says Hitchcock aces with gigantic cards. All right, all right. Frolic Chris, when I get there, I will attempt to do it. I will attempt it. But before that, we have Trading Kings. It's requested by Charlie's Beats. One of my favorite tricks to show new people who have never seen it before. And so let's go ahead and do that. Yay! All right. I'm gonna let you know, Frolic Chris. I am in partial agony with your with your redeem. So I'm like, oh man, am I gonna be okay? Can I do it? I don't even know. All right. So first of all, I have 2 packets of cards. They're obviously from different decks because the backs are different. I'm going to need a couple of volunteers. The extent in which you will have to do anything is you'll just have to choose a suit. So let me know if you want to select a suit. If we get 1 volunteer, I'll have them choose both. But if we get 2 volunteers, they can each choose a suit. But first, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and prove that they are all. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 red-backed cards. And over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue-backed cards. All right, cool, excellent. So, pinstripe suit with fedora, says Durkee Blaine. All right, that's a very good suit choice, Durkee Blaine. Greatly appreciate it. E-Room chooses hearts. All right, E-Room. So now I will need somebody else to choose a black suit. And actually, pinstripe suit. So pinstripes, what is that closer to? Is that closer to spades or clubs? Uh, oh yeah, sorry, the Rusty Panda. E-Room has beat you to the red suit. So E-Room has selected hearts. Rusty Panda, do you want to choose either clubs or spades? Go ahead and make a choice for either clubs or spades as the black suit. Spades. All right, excellent. So we have spades and hearts, and we did not arrange anything. These were freely selected. So here, let me just go ahead and do spades and hearts. I don't know if you guys know, but I just flipped over the spade in this pile and the heart in this pile. I did see Mark Wright's comment. Double breastfed olive green. I don't. I can't. I don't even know what that color is. I mean, I know it's green, but damn autocorrect. Double-breasted olive green. Okay, that's still. I'm still. Anyway, okay, all right. Here we go. So look. Oh yeah. Probably I should have just told you the kings. These are kings, all right? Otherwise, why would the name of the trick be Trading Kings? All right, here we go. Spades. I don't know if you could tell, but that's a king of spades. And then here we go. King of hearts, right? King of hearts. Now, not only did we flip them over, I mean, some people might be impressed at that point. And to that, I would say, guys, I just did a minor miracle, right? But for those of you who have seen this trick before, you know there's more. But wait, there's more. Um, so here, let me Would you believe that not only did I just flip them over, but I actually swapped them from the pile that they belong to? Actually, because if we take a look, would you believe that the King of Hearts is the red-backed King of Hearts, and the King of Spades is actually the blue-backed King of Spades? I know, it's really hard to believe, but look. Ready? King of Hearts, look, if I show you, this is the red-backed one. And then the King of Spades, this is actually the blue-backed one. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? But wait, there's more. I did lie to you a little bit. I did say that there were kings. I mean, there were indeed two kings, which I guess is correct, because that's more than one. But actually, that was all that could have been selected, because if I show you the rest of these cards, there are no other kings. Because if I show you these cards, there's actually nothing on them. Nothing on any one of them. And that, my friends, is the 1-2 punch uppercut of Trading Kings. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? All right. Oh, thank you kindly for the applause and the emotes and the claps. E-Room, Chan the Magic Man, Charlie's Beats, the Rusty Panda. Thank you so much. All right. So, next up. Man, I think our average trick number of performance tricks today is probably going to be higher than usual. Normally, there's like some storytelling time, but today has been like trick, 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 hype train, trick, trick, trick. So we're doing good, guys. I'm getting a lot of good practice in. Oh, I should probably let people know. So I'm going to be going to a magic convention in about, basically it's the weekend 2 weeks from now. So not next weekend, but the weekend after. And so there's a good chance that I'm probably not going to be streaming on the 26th. But we will see what happens that weekend if I do anything. I might record stuff. I don't know. So we'll see. But I'll be attending Magifest. If anybody is familiar with Magifest, that is put on by Vanishing Ink, that is the convention I'm going to. So, but yeah, that's the deal. That's the plan. It happens to also conflict with Magfest. So if any, yeah, can't you just teleport back with magic? I mean, look, I only do sleight of hand card magic, Frolic Chris. So, um, teleportation, not card magic. All right, so let me see here. Frolic Chris's request. First, let me hang on here. Let me see what I can prepare for, and then let me see what I can do. This is going to be a tough trick because it is this trick I'm sometimes scared of because it is technically intense, and now I have to do it with big cards. So and I also was willing to try it. So that was that's my fault, guys. That's my fault. Okay, so let me see. First things first. Okay, so let's do this, and then do this and this. Okay, that's that. Okay, all right. You need to do another. If you need to do another trick, it's okay. All right, all right. Well, we're gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, then that's fine. So anyway. But before we go on, let me just show you how big this deck is. Okay, so this deck is this big. Here's a typical playing card from it. It is about 4 times as big as a regular poker-sized playing card. And so this is the one we are going to attempt to use. I do have a larger deck, but that is technically not what this redeem intended. The redeem intended to be this deck because I could actually do things with this potentially. with the bigger ones, I cannot. So anyway, all right, here we go. Uh, Durkee Blaine says, can't do Nam to impossible location. Yeah, that would be a really hard one, Durkee Blaine. That would be super impressive. Oh, the Rusty Panda is, where is it at? I'm assuming that question refers to where in the country does the convention happen. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio area. So, yeah, the convention's happening in Columbus, Ohio. But yeah, nope. No Nam to impossible location. E-Room has a scandalous shuffle. All right, E-Room. Well, let's see what happens after this before we go nuts. Okay, all right. So first things first, I've set aside the four aces. The four aces are gonna help me here. Um, so that is the idea. Man, we are probably not gonna make it through this trick. I'm already having problems just holding the deck. I have to hold the deck. Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm just gonna. All right. Let's just put it down on the table. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me introduce you to these cards. We've got the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Clubs. And then the Ace of Diamonds and the Ace of Spades. Okay. So let's go ahead and leave the Ace of Spades here. I think also just having table real estate will be tough for this too. And I'm going to go ahead and place all of the aces out like this. Okay. All right. So, let me see here. Uh, yeah, this is not going to be good, guys. That's all right. We're all friends, right? We're all friends. Nobody clip this. All right. Let me go ahead and turn this face down, and then you need to do another trick. Oh man, you could see those aces from space. Trick of your choice. Nah, it's all good. We're gonna do this. It's already too late. We are already deep in the throes of the trick. I choose this trick, Frolic Chris. This is what I'm choosing. All right. Okay. First things first. I'm gonna go ahead and place any old random card here, seven of spades, with our ace of spades. And then we are going to go ahead and place three cards onto this pile over here. Okay, cool. So now if I just do some quick magic, that's going to make that ace jump from here and swap places with that seven of spades. So we knew that this was the ace of spades. Actually, I could probably leave that face up. But now if I show you over here, look, there's actually... Oh, there's our seven of spades. It swapped places with it. There's no aces here. I know, is that strange? That's very strange, right? But now, if I show you that the ace has hopped down here, there it is. Okay, next one. Let's go ahead and place the jack of clubs down here. If nothing else, I hope that this is very comical. All right. I'm going to place three other cards on top of this ace. Let's go ahead and swap. I don't know if you could tell, but look, those gigantic cards swapped, and you would think that you could see them better because they're bigger, but no. The magic happens very quickly because look. So look, there's no aces there, no aces here, no aces there, and there's our jack of clubs. So, and look, the ace has hopped down here. Durkee Blaine says, I just stepped out of the office a sec and tripped on Nam's giant cards. I know, right? They are so trippable. All right, you're probably wondering if, maybe the aces weren't there. Well, look, I'll show you that there was aces there the entire time. Because look, see? So here's the thing. If you were here, I would let you put your hand on top of this pile so there'd be no way for me to get to it if but I'm going to simulate it by putting my actual computer mouse that is connected to the computer right now. And then what I want to do here is let me just go ahead and scoop up the aces. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of these aces face down and deal them down here. Then we will need to give you 3 other cards, like so. We're just going to go ahead and slide them in there. And then we will need the final card. So King of Clubs, let's go ahead and place that right here. Now, I didn't make any promises because I was just dealing with the big cards, but I promise you that at the end of this trick, all of the aces will be together. And so here we go. I don't know if you could tell, but there was a swap, but it wasn't the swap that you expected because all the aces are there underneath your hand. Because if we take a look, we knew that this was the ace of diamonds, but look, here's the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the ace of spades. Now you're probably wondering, wait, what's over here then? And most people would probably assume, oh, it's just 4 junk cards, but no. Well, you have the aces, but I also wanted to have some good cards if we were playing a card game. And so here I've set myself up for the 4 queens. Not quite the kings, you don't want it to be too suspicious. But there are the 4 queens. And that, my friends, is an attempt at Hitchcock aces with jumbo gigantic cards. And I mean, I don't think I loved it the entire time, but I think it's doable. I just need to get better at handling these gigantic cards, basically. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan the Magic Man, and E-Room, and the mind-blown Durkee Blaine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, that one was a little bit rough, but I think I'm proud of it for the sheer fact that it's huge. Alright, so now we have a scandalous shuffling request from E-Room. Separate clear cards into 2 equal piles. Place one onto the table face down. Place the other pile onto the table face up. Now shuffle the 2 piles together in a perfect Pharaoh shuffle with clear plastic. Oh, E-Room. Oh, man, you are brutal. I'm not even sure if I can Pharaoh these. But, alright, here. How is Hitchcock Aces different from Ace Assembly? Mark Rides. So Ace Assembly is basically getting all of the aces to jump to the leader ace. The major thing that's different about Hitchcock Aces is that the aces appear together, but at not the intended location at the end. Other than that, like everything else is like set up for getting to that point. I know I probably explained way too much at this point. However, yeah, there are subtle differences, but like the method in which you arrive at the destination is quite different than in a basic Ace assembly. All right. Okay. First, let me go to the deck. All right. First, let me. Okay. We gotta unpack a few things. All right. So here's first of all, let me show everybody what a Pharaoh shuffle is. So here's what a Pharaoh shuffle I think mostly looks like. So you're basically taking half of the deck, and then you're basically interweaving it to be almost exactly interwoven 1-to-1, which is doable. I'm having some trouble even just cutting half of the deck right now, but all right, cool. That's mostly good. I messed up on one part, but you can probably tell on camera where I messed it up. But so Pharaoh Shuffle is basically a direct interweaving that's effectively 1-to-1 if you get a perfect Pharaoh. So that's what a perfect Pharaoh is. So if anybody has not seen the clear deck of cards, Pharaoh Shuffle? No. Hitchcock Aces assembly not required. That's a good tagline for an assembly. Durkee Blaine. That's a good one. So if anybody hasn't seen the clear deck of cards, here's the clear deck of cards. So these are clear, made out of plastic. And the reason why I'm not sure if I will be able to Pharaoh these is because oftentimes when you Pharaoh cards, the direction in which the cut of the paper cards matters. So like for these ones, I can tell that they were cut from the face to the back. So like one side is sharper than the other, and so it's easier for me to faro one way um, than the other. So like I had a little bit of a tough time doing it that way, but this way it should be a little bit easier. All right, they interwove easier that time. But so the thing with plastic cards is they don't have like a directionality to them. But also, eRoom is asking me to shuffle one face up, one face down. So I can't do a Pharaoh shuffle on the table. I'm not that good with the table Pharaoh shuffle, so I will more than likely have to hold it in my hands. So, alright, so here we go. So here's face up and face down. And then here's my attempt at, actually, let me get some more cards over so that it's more equal. Okay, I think, no, that's one too many cards. Okay, I think, okay, so here we go. So face down, face up. Attempting to Pharaoh. Did I get it? Oh my god, I might have gotten it. Oh my god, that was like first try. Okay, hold on. So first of all, let's go ahead and verify that Pharaoh. It does not look like that there's any doubles anywhere, so I might have done it. Interwoven, yeah. Can you interfere one by one to ensure perfect Pharaoh shuffle? Yeah, you can do it one by one, and then so. And now let me just go ahead and push it together here. There we go. And now we can just do a double check. I'll do a fan, and let's see how we did. Oh, already I see one mistake. So here's one mistake. There's two facing in the same direction. Actually, that was near the end, so maybe I was just not paying as much attention there. But actually, everything else is looking pretty good. Yo, okay, one mistake, not bad. So this, if it was in there, it would have been perfect. Instead, it was right here. So that was the only. But anyway, there you go. I manually did that part, and now they're interwoven. And don't ask me to do a trick with this because I'll now have to undo it, which I plan on doing like after stream. All right, there you go, eRoom, once again making me suffer. All right, guys. All right, I'm thinking about ending stream in about 20 minutes. So if anybody wants to request any tricks, feel free to go ahead now. I'll do maybe one or two more tricks, and then we'll close the queue, and then I'll still do a finale trick. So, but you know what trick I haven't done today? That would be coin matrix. And I'm trying to do this every stream because I want to keep it sharp and fresh. So we'll just go ahead and do it every stream. I almost think could I do this with gigantic cards? I almost feel like it would be unfair because like the cards would cover way more. So all right, so hold on. You guys know I could do this with normal sized cards. Can I do this with jumbo sized cards? All right, so obviously this would be a little bit unfair because I will obviously be able to have more cover, but just for the comical nature. So I'm going to use these cards. I'm going to cover each coin with a card. Mini cards and pennies, says Turkey Blaine. Oh, I don't have any pennies here. Okay, all right. So here we go. I want to make this one jump from here to there. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. It happens pretty quick, going from here to there. 1, 2, 3. And then going from here to there. And there we go. And that, my friends, is the basic coin matrix with gigantic cards. All right. I will say, okay, it works perfectly fine with gigantic cards. That's nothing wrong with that there. Oh, somebody beat me. Charlie beat me to a request. Charlie put a restless lady in there. Sorry, Charlie. I jumped the line. I mean, it's my stream. I'll put them in whatever order I need to. um, and then I see the request for Triumph from Durkee Blaine. So let me see. What are the smallest coins that I have? And then, no, I don't really have many small coins. I kind of left them. So I like to do magic with bigger coins, mostly because of the visual nature of it. So it's just like, it's just easier to see. So, all right. Well, I'll keep that in mind for next time if I end up getting some materials that we could then use. But I don't currently have anything for tiny cards, tiny matrix. So, thank you kindly for the claps. E-room. All right. So, I'm not going to do the Restless Lady with gigantic cards. That is not. No, that's not. Okay. To be fair, I just gave it a really good thought process right now, and I'm just like super iffy on that. Okay, so let's see here. Let me find some cards. Uh, okay, and then who is going to be the here? Okay. 7, 8, 9. Okay. Cool. Do you have those small triangular cards, or is that the wrong stream? I have triangle cards. They're not like small or anything. So like the triangle cards that I have, I would say are like normal size triangle cards. So uh, they are they are this sized. They're not like tiny though, so I don't know. They're like if I compare it to like a regular poker size card, it's I don't know, probably the equivalent size if the shape match didn't really matter. But yeah, that would be me. As far as I know, no other magician uses triangle cards. If you search for if you guys, if you go to YouTube and search for like triangle sleight of hand card magic, it's all me. Like there's okay, all right. So here we have the six of spades, the seven of spades, the eight of spades, the nine of spades, and our restless lady will be the queen of diamonds. And so here, the queen of diamonds, let's go ahead and place the queen of diamonds off to the side for a second. But if we just give the restless lady a chance to come back and hang out with all these cool spades, just like this, she will be able to jump back up to hang out with the spades. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? But anyway, so here we go. If we go ahead and we place the queen of diamonds off to the side, they may want to go hang out. She may want to come back and hang out with all the spades over here. However, if they don't touch, there's really no chance for her to do that, right? But all we have to do is just have these touch. And I don't know if you can tell, but look, the queen of diamonds has hopped back among the spade party. Okay, and now we've got two cards left, but all we have to do is just give the queen of diamonds a chance to hop back into the party. And look, there she is. All right, and now we've got just this, but look, all we have to do is just give her a chance to come out on top. And there is our queen of diamonds. Now, if you were to go hang out with any of these spades, you would end up seeing the queen of diamonds hanging out with them. See, look, here's one, here's again, and this one, and that one, and this one, right? However, over time, the Queen of Diamonds uh, draws interesting people to come hang out. And if we take a look, we have all of our spades down here. Actually, I did make one mistake. Um, Normally, I like to use the card of the person who requested the trick. In this case, Charlie's Beats. Um, and so Charlie's Beats is a cool person. So with the Queen of Diamonds hopping around, hanging out with everybody, ends up exposing Charlie's Beats to the cool community that is all of the spades. And of course, at the end, we don't have the Queen of Diamonds anymore. We now have the Ace of Spades, which is signed by our friend Charlie's Beats. That, my friends, is a restless lady trick turned into Charlie's Beats kicker at the end. That's probably the best way to describe it. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, E-Room. Oh, Durkee Blaine says, ooh, I just found mini MTG cards. Guess Amazon is getting my money. I have seen those mini MTG cards. I don't know if I have them handy, but they are certainly in my house somewhere. Uh, yeah, I don't immediately see them, but I know I have some. So, but yes, they are tiny. They basically can fit like on a. I don't know if there's a keychain on them. I think it's just the box, but they could be like a deck of cards on a keychain. Oh, I don't know if it's possible, Mark Wright says here, but could you do oil and water with cool people and squares, meaning rectangular cards as one group and square-shaped cards as squares? No. I think with oil and water, we will need to have the cards be the same size and shape. Let me see. Um, you can do oil with cool people and squares, meaning rectangular cards as one group of squares. Yeah, I don't know. I would need them to be this. I've thought about potentially doing like an oil and water where like the fronts and the backs are different, but I haven't come up with a way to do that. So that is something I'll have to think about. I'll mull about that. Durkee Blaine says, nice to know. All right. Durkee Blaine has also requested a trick. Triumph. All right. So let's go ahead and Durkee Blaine, would you like to select a card? You are welcome to select any card in the deck. That will be the selection. So go ahead and you can name one. You can pull one out. It doesn't really matter that I know what it is because I'm going to look at it anyway. So, or if you're on, oh no, yeah, Jack of Clubs. All right, Jack of Clubs, right here. All right, so Jack of Clubs, that is the selection. And so what we will do with the Jack of Clubs, and look, you'll even know that I'm putting it in the middle of the deck because I'll put it in face up. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck like this and like this. And we'll even do some fun cuts. Okay. All right. Now what we will do is we are going to go ahead and shuffle face up into face down cards. I know this part is super weird. I forget, do I like it this way or that way? I forget which side I like to have the face up and face down cards. But anyway, all right, so I tried to do this last time, right? And it was with bigger cards and it looked terrible. Is that what the case was? I think that was the case, right? At least these are now like normal sized. Okay, can we name the card Dave? You said we could name it. Oh, all right. Jack of Clubs is now. I mean, we need to find somebody whose username is Dave, and then they would need to sub, and then we can get their name. Oh, Mal Haku, are you still here? You're a new sub. You get to sign a card. Let me know. Hold on. Are you still here? Man, I forget my own stuff all the time. If you are, you get to sign a card for the sub. And I know ZD Major 7 is on one of these, so but anyway, all right. So we now have a messed up deck. If I show you, look, we've got face up, face down cards. Boom. Okay. But here, let me show you how messed up it is. So here's a back to a front. Here's a front to a back. Here's a back to a back. And yeah, so anyway, what we're going to do is fix the deck. I don't know if you could tell, but the deck has reworked itself. It is now fixed. If you don't believe me, that's okay. Here, we'll show you. So look, I'm going to spread the deck, and there's every single card is facing in the correct direction. Every single card except for one. And this one card, I mean, prospectively could be called Dave one day. Jack of Clubs. Currently has no name. Anyway, there was a part of me for a minute that I was thinking I should try Triumph with the gigantic deck. But I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. So, there we go, my friends. All right. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say last call. We are approaching when I would want to end. So if anybody wants to see any more magic, now's a good time to request it. Thank you kindly for the applause, Darky Blaine. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to perform for the finale today. You know, we did a lot of ace assemblies today, so maybe I should end off on Picasso aces. So, yeah, perhaps that would be 52 card pickup. All right. So if anybody has ever heard of somebody named Ricky J, so Ricky J, one of the premier card magicians, had and actually this is somewhat tangential to something I saw that I think GipsonLens shared with me, but basically Ricky J had this routine. It was Ricky J and his 52 assistants, and obviously those assistants were all the cards. SR Fantastic Four. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right. We won't be doing that one. We will put Fantastic Four in there. Yeah, I don't really have shortcuts for anything in there, so Fantastic Four. There we go. Okay. Why did FF do bluff? It's probably the only thing that has two F's in it. Yeah, it's not like smart. I think StreamerSonglist is just like a partial string match. So, all right, guys. If you ever wanted to see me unpack my Fantastic Four trick, I have it in a little bag. Okay. Oh, and I have to make sure I have my phone too. Hang on. Yeah, I shared the Ricky J special that was put on the Internet Archives. Yes. So, yeah, if you guys search the Internet Archives for like Ricky J, there's one of his specials with his 52 assistants is on there. It's not just like a trick. I think it's like a full lecture. So, if anybody's into card magic and you want to learn some, I don't know if it's beginner or intermediate or advanced. I mean, but knowing Ricky J, it's probably like intermediate to advanced. So probably not for beginners. Can you use the mouse, or would that be too heavy? No, the mouse is not. My phone is actually heavier than my mouse, so I have my phone. It's over here. All right, we're good. Okay. All right, guys. Here I have a packet of cards. It's not just any packet of cards. It is a spaceship. The spaceship contains four scientists who are going up to study an anomaly. Well, they reach the anomaly, and as it turns out, they all get superpowers. And all of these people, they're going to eventually one day be known as the Fantastic Four. But until then, they just got their powers, and they're like, WTF? What are we going to do with these powers? So we have our first individual that starts to explore his powers. Let's look at Reed Richards, and Reed Richards gets a power to be able to stretch himself quite a bit. So let me go ahead and just start to tug on him from both sides. So look, if I pull at him from the top of his head, oh my God, how come I cannot do this right now? There we go. If I pull at the top of his head, you can see that he is slowly being stretched. And not only that, he can stretch to be abnormally sized compared to regular people, or in this case, regular cards. He even gets a little bit good at it. He can hold the shape for a little bit, but not for too long. And so, anyway, next up, we end up meeting Sue Storm, who will eventually be known as the Invisible Woman. And so the Invisible Woman is going to be represented by the Queen of Hearts. Now, she can turn invisible, but if I tell her, hey, Sue, go ahead and turn invisible, she's not going to be able to do that because she's not going to listen to me. She will only do it just whenever she feels like it. And so even if I say, hey, disappear now, she'll be like, nah, I'll wait until I make a fool of Nam, and then she'll disappear. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but she is now invisible. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And now, even if I ask her to come back, hey, Sue, come back. We need to progress with the trick. Come on, Sue. No, she's got a mind of her own. She will do whatever she wants whenever she wants. But eventually she'll come back. So there we go. All right, next up, we will have Ben Grimm, and he is going to get rocky skin, and he's going to have extreme strength. Best way to demonstrate this strength is if I just take any old Joe Schmo and I tell them to hold the phone, they will be unable to hold the phone. So, but if I tell Ben Grimm, i.e., he'll be known as the Thing, his strength will be super strength. Has no problem holding the phone. See, look at that. No problem. You can even bounce a little bit. That's perfectly fine. And that is the power of the Thing. And then finally, we will have Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm is going to be known as the Human Torch. And so with the Human Torch, all he has to do is say, flame on, and then he becomes a flaming, fiery red version of himself. But the flames can't last forever, so at some point he has to extinguish himself. And I don't know if you could tell, but now he has become a very smoky version of himself. And so there you go. So there we are. Okay, so now we have all four of them, and they've discovered their powers, and they're thinking to themselves, hey, we have all these newfound powers. We should use them for good. And they go back to Earth, and they decide to call themselves the Fantastic Four. And that, my friends, is my Fantastic Four Marvel style trick. Thank you kindly for that request, Mark Rides. I see why he's the two, because not for too long I finally got the pun. Pun intended. Better late than never, Mark writes. uh, all right. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. All right, let me do this. Let me do this. And then let me do this. Hang on, I'm resetting this trick. If I don't do it now, I will forget. I'll mess it up. This will have to become a boss trick. And there's nothing like a trick that you made yourself become your own boss trick. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, guys. Um, I guess it's that time of night where I say thank you to everybody who came out today to hang out. Thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted in chat, gave some emotes, did a sound alert, any redeem, even if it sounds like I begrudgingly did a redeem, it's fine. um, Thank you for requesting tricks. I would say that the queue is pretty full tonight, so thank you for helping me practice. So, full disclosure, I haven't really been practicing that much outside of stream. So it was probably pretty good today. Um, Thank you to all the lurkers out there. Magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Um, Thank you so much to everybody who supported me today during that hype train. Thank you so much for the hype train. Thank you to ZD Major 7 for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. Um, and Thank you to guys. If you haven't given any of our mods mod love, please give our mods mod love. Give them a follow. We saw all of our mods today, so guys, if you're not following our friend and mod, the Rusty Panda, please give the Rusty Panda a follow. Singer songwriter also has a unique interview stream on Wednesdays called Wiki Wednesdays, so please give the Rusty Panda a follow. Guys, if you are not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that has a regular magic schedule here on Twitch. Chan the Magic Man does magic on Magic Mondays, but Chan also does a bunch of other streaming, so community games, retro games. Currently has been playing Grand Theft Auto 5, so please give Chan a follow. Also, Chan has recently reached 900 followers, right? So congratulations, Chan. And then also, if you're not following our friend and mod GipsonLens, please give GipsonLens a follow. GipsonLens, pianist, uh, has actually does a lot of piano practice nowadays. So he'll play songs that he wants to play, but has also started including movie reviews because deep down inside we all wonder what GibsonLens thinks of movies, of old classic movies, or bad movies, or potentially bad sounding movies. But anyway, but of course, if anybody enjoyed that Hype Train song, that was indeed a GibsonLens original, so please give GibsonLens a follow, listen to all of his originals. Um, all right. Let's see. For anybody who's still around and is wondering, like if you were new and you stuck around, thank you for sticking around. Everything that you saw here today is effectively sleight of hand magic, and if you believed it was, black magic, sorcery, deals with the devil, I mean, it can all be achieved with sleight of hand magic. I would claim that anyway, because perfect cover story. Um, but I don't tell you what to believe. You believe what you want. And then let's see what else here. Um, oh yeah, and if anybody wants to see more of me and I am not around, I have recently celebrated 300 magic performances on my YouTube channel. So please check out my YouTube channel. Um, I've put in a lot of time and effort and work into basically having a lot of magic tricks. As far as I know, I don't think I'm intending on stopping yet. I may pivot some of my content, but I don't know if I'm quite there yet. But we'll see. Um, but and then if you want to see VODs, so I do have they're like hidden VODs, but they're like accessible. But you have to go through this playlist basically. So I basically unlist them on my main page after a while. So all right. And so with that, I think that's everything. So we are going to attempt to do this one finale trick, and if it is successful, we'll raid out. And if it is not successful, I don't like to end stream on a trick that I mess up on. So we'll do another finale trick, and then we'll get out of here. So, all right. Let's see here. Let me also make sure this was a boss trick for a little while, but I don't think so. Let's see. My other boss trick is, oh yeah, I know. Okay, is a different trick. Okay, cool. That's all right. We will run with this. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. So, first things first, I have a pile of aces here in my hand, but I do want to spread the deck and show you that this is a blue-backed deck. However, these aces did not come from this because these aces are red-backed aces. So they came from a different deck. See, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Clubs, Ace of Diamonds, and Ace of Spades. All right, so here's what I want to do with these four aces. I'm going to go ahead and lay them out. And we did talk about ace assemblies earlier, and so we're going to try and collect all four of these aces together at the end. And so so here's what I want to do. We're going to go ahead and lay down, let me see here. Okay, so this is the one I want to be the leader ace here. And then let me just place all these aces down like this. Okay, cool. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and place, I'm going to place 3 cards onto each pile, like so. And what we will do is hopefully attempt to magically make all of the aces jump from their respective piles to this one. All right, so here we have the ace here. You can see that it's still here for now. And if I just count it like this, you'll still see it. But look, once I pick it up and I drop it, I'll swap it for one of those blue cards. Now if I count through it, you'll see that there's no red-backed aces. And there's none here. But now if I show you up here, before there was only 1, but now you'll see 2. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Okay, let's jump to this. Look, you can see that there's an ace here. But all we have to do is do that magical swap. I took a blue backed card from there, placed it here, and I put that ace over there. Because now if I show you, there is no red backed cards there, and there are no aces. So now, before we had 2 and 2, now we should have 3 red backed cards. Look. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Okay, let's see. Now we have this. Some people think that there's some shenanigans afoot, and to that I would say, yes, you're watching a sleight of hand card magic stream, and you are here and watching this. Okay, so, but look here, you'll see that the red back card, Ace of Diamonds, you'll be able to see that it's still there from the back because you can see the red card there, and from the front you'll be able to see that the ace is there. But all we have to do is do that swap, get that last blue backed card from over there, place it in here, and now if we take a look, all of these cards are blue backed. And if we take a look, none of these faces are aces. And if I show you here, there are now 1, 2, 3, 4 red backed cards, And they are the Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Spades, Ace of Clubs, and Ace of Hearts. And that, my friends, I will call a successful finale, even though I was a little bit iffy on a couple of those. But not like the technical part, just like the performance part. I second guessed myself, and I'm like, it was fine. I think it was fine. All right. It was fine. If I'm really worried, I should just rehearse it more, right? All right. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. All right. And with that, I think we can find somebody to raid. So where to go today? Let's see. I think it has been a while since I went into some music friend streams. So perhaps they would be good tonight to go to. All right, let's see who's on and what's going on. I was actually wondering if when I started tonight if I should stream a game before I started Magic Stream, but then I was like, nah, I gotta do I had to record my YouTube video, and then by the time I was done, I was like, all right, we'll just start Magic Stream. So here we are. Thank you kindly for the claps, GipsonLens. All right, let's see here. Okay, you know what, guys? I think it has been a while since we rated this person. Let me just double check here. Oh yeah, I haven't really rated many of the regulars, or at least what I thought was the regulars, for a bit. So, all right, let's go and hold on. Let me open up and just make sure that they're still going on. Okay. GipsonLens says, ooh, there's Green Guy Music. I did see Green Guy Music, but Green Guy Music was, let me see here. There is one, let me see here. Okay, yep. So I think I've actually rated Green Guy Music more recently than this other person. Hold on. Let me go to the spreadsheet. It's kind of been a while for both. Wait, I have made a mistake in my spreadsheet somewhere somehow. I have lost some data for rating out on a specific day. I will have to confer. I'm actually happy that GipsonLens takes really good notes as well. So I'll have to look back on that. Okay, all right. So, all right, let's go and all right, guys. We're going to be rating our friend 7Senshi. So if you guys would like to come along for a raid, here's some raid calls. So right. So 7Senshi is a flautist, plays flute, and plays VGM anime music, also singing karaoke. Hawk6 Phoenix, welcome in. How's it going? I just realized, guys, I did not do a very good job of shouting people out today, so I'm sorry. Come back next time, and because oh yeah, I know why. Because the trick queue is so full today, and I was like, let's get the trick queue. But yeah, so let's raid over to 7Senshi today. So 7Senshi, very cool, very fun. I will come in and sneak on the. Okay, awesome, thank you. And I actually got a chance to meet 7Senshi last 2 years ago. Now it's 2023 TwitchCon in Vegas, and I actually got a chance to meet. Actually, that was also the time that I met GipsonLens in person as well for the first time, and Hawk6 Phoenix. So, but yeah, so let's go over there and let's see here. All right. Oh crap! I gotta copy my own raid call. Yeah, it's neat that you have a raid history spreadsheet. I should start one up myself. I mean, It's easier to search than the one that's included on on Twitch. So yeah, it's easier for me to search my spreadsheet. All right, cool. All right, guys. Mod view is not easy to search through, right? Yeah, mod view is not easy because like you gotta reload. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So, all right, everybody, thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight. Wonderful night tonight. Did a lot of tricks. Everybody, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you. Bye.